So how many people do we have on this thing right now?
14 right now, which is gonna be limited to 25 with the camera, and then we'll stream it to YouTube, so we'll have viewers on YouTube.
Okay, but YouTube. Okay, so how do I get a link for my Instagram for YouTube?
Nathan dropped it. Let me get it to you.
Okay. Oh, Nathan works for you?
He works with me, yeah.
Got it. Cool. Okay, so Nathan. So he. Okay. Is there a link to join the party? Yeah. What do I tell these people?
Where do they ask?
Where's the link? Wait, if they click on my story, it has the link, right? Because my story, I reposted what he did.
No. So that was we gotta change that. We gotta let me send you over something to post with the link.
You live in Colombia?
I'm here right now, yeah.
How
I'm in
long have you been in
Medellin.
Colombia?
I've been here for like a little over 3 weeks, about a month.
Oh, Medellin. Fuck my life. The city with no rules. I've been there, let's just say a time or 12.
Okay.
Oh my God, Medellin, wow. What a fucking time. Fucking
Yes.
orgies galore. Anyways. Okay, so alright, so Medellin, okay. Dude, this is complicated. Zoom link is good, but
I just sent you the YouTube to your Instagram.
so if I repost this, what?
So if you make a post on your Instagram saying, hey, tap this link to join the YouTube live, they'll be able to join us on
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay. Story, post, paste. Okay. All right. I did that. Wait, but so if we don't, so just because we have the video, we're limited to 25 people?
That's correct. In this channel, that's correct. So then what we're going to do is we're going to live stream it to YouTube, and that's going to be, whoever shows up to the live stream will see the live stream. Whereas if we were to host this on the stage channel, we can have more people, but we won't be able to see you.
Fuck it. Let's just start. I mean, all right,
Well,
just go ahead.
Let's get it.
Let's just
We're
start. How many
here.
people are on the YouTube? I mean, I can't even see, but how many people are on the YouTube?
We got 3 on the YouTube right now.
Okay, fuck it. Let's just roll and hopefully they join. Fuck it. Let's do it.
All right, Nathan,
All right,
can you zoom in on his face for the YouTube stream? Can you make his video the biggest box? That'd be awesome, bro.
Don't worry, we're in talks with Discord to get the stage all set up with video cams and stuff. That's in the process, no worries.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let's just roll. So how does this work? Like, are you guys gonna ask me questions, or you just kind of want me to? You just want me to like ramble, or what do you want me to do?
No, I got you. We're gonna go ahead and open it up here real quick. I'm just gonna make one announcement, and we're gonna get it kicked off. All right.
Perfect.
Awesome. Give me just 1 second.
Medellin. Fucking dog. Mm, mm, mm. The invoice. What is this, Diana? This invoice. What is this for? I already said to pay it. Did you pay it already? Pay it. Pay it. Pay it.
Awesome, Ben. Well, first and foremost, brother, I want to thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. I'm really grateful for Josh for putting us in touch. He said great things about you. I'm eager to learn how you've been able to pull off the numbers and the productivity that you have accomplished in such a little amount of time. And without further ado, who is Ben Toaff?
Yeah. My name's Ben Toaff. Obviously, people that are following me already know, but for those of you who don't, I've been wholesaling real estate since 2016. I've got, right around last year we did about $3 million in wholesale fees, wholesaling and wholetailing, but mainly wholesaling with a very small team. I've got about 8 people in my office and then some VAs, but the majority of the work gets done by the people in my office here, based in Miami. This year we're looking to scale 2x. So yeah, we're looking to hit 5 to 6 million this year, with a slightly larger team, but mainly just being a lot more efficient and really capitalizing on some novation deals, and some very, very well targeted PPC ads. Yeah, so that's who I am.
Awesome. How did you get into entrepreneurship?
So when I graduated college, I studied engineering. I didn't want to be an engineer. My parents pressured me to do that, and I moved to Miami. I got my first sales job. I was selling photocopiers. Sold my first photocopier after 3 months. I got the commission check for $200, and I quit the next day. And then I heard about wholesale real estate. I saw some videos online, things like that, and there was some. I saw videos and people sounded like complete retards. Flipping houses and making tons and tons of money at, $50,000-$60,000 a month. And they sounded like retarded. And I was just like, this, if these people can do this, then there's absolutely no way that I can't figure this out. So, I joined a mentorship program where they taught me how to wholesale listed properties. So my first 2-3 years, all we did was we would call real estate agents. We would haggle on listed properties, get them under contract for, less than they're listed for, usually 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, even more $1,000 under the asking price on the MLS. And then we would go ahead and assign them. Usually we would make about 10 to 15,000 on those listed properties. And was really good business because there was no overhead. But the problem is that it just wasn't that scalable. It wasn't that scalable. And you can't get those super deep discounts that you're looking for when you go on the off market. So yeah, then I started to transition back into the off market. First we did a lot of heavy cold calling, things like that, and we made a lot of money with that. But eventually we got into Google ads, and we started to realize that Google ads those were the highest quality leads. Obviously the most expensive, but the highest quality, which allows us to scale our revenue and our marketing much faster with less people on our team than if we do cold calling or SMS. And also it's compliant. There's no legal issues with TCPA or getting sued by people for cold calling. So it's a lot more scalable than, cold calling or SMS.
Wow. And so you went the Google route. Have you done anything with Facebook ads and other ways to generate inbound marketing leads?
We Facebook ads, we don't really do that. I've done it like a little bit in the past, but it hasn't been an effective route. Google ads, just based on talking to other people in the industry, is kind of the most effective way, and I've seen it to be true. So, it's like whatever works for us, we just double down, triple down on that. There was a point last year where I was spending $10,000 per day on Google Ads and marketing.
Wow.
That's how confident I was on my ad spend, on my ads and things like that. We had days where we locked up, 7, 8 properties under contract in one day. So, we just it definitely works. It definitely works. Now, there are downsides to Google Ads, but as far as like the highest quality, highest converting lead, also the time from when you get the lead to till the time you contract till the time you close is also the fastest. So yeah, we like that a lot.
And so the people that fill out these Google forms or that become leads from Google, they're obviously the most motivated. How fast are you able to close these people on average?
Typically we're contracting the property usually within 48 hours of getting the lead. Now that does not to say that we never get follow-up deals that take, a week or 2 weeks to close, sometimes more, but usually we're getting them under contract within, I would say 80% of the contracts we get from Google Ads are signed within 48 hours of the lead coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you ever explored any other like alternatives to running your own ad campaign on Google? Like have you ever purchased leads like pay-per-click leads?
Well, I have agencies that do it. I've thought about doing it on my own, but I've hired agencies to do the Google Ads for me. I've never done it on my own. I've never done it on my own. I've never like built the campaign from start. I've had a couple. I've tried a couple different agencies, and yeah, that's what I've done.
Awesome.
But I'm not like an expert on like, oh, which keyword or anything like that. Like I just know that, I just know that from based on my experience that the ads we run that it works, and that was those campaigns were created by agencies for me.
Got you. So your strong suit is really sales.
My strong suit is I have big balls. I have big fucking balls. I'm willing to spend money. I'm not scared to risk money. Also, I'm an excellent recruiter. Very, very good at recruiting really good talent to come work on my team. I think that the average wholesaler has no clue how to recruit the right talent, and also they're not willing to offer a competitive pay structure and thing like that in order to attract a well-talented person. Most wholesalers you see in the industry, they're 97% of wholesalers are people that work from home, and they might do a couple deals a month or even less, maybe only a couple deals a year, and they're always kind of scared to take that next step, to be a real entrepreneur, to go out there and rent an office and make a hire and spend money on marketing, offer people a salary and things like that. So that's what separates fly by night wholesaler, people that are going to be in this industry for less than 20, less than a year, as opposed to someone like myself who's been doing this for 6+ years. I've got, I would say I don't have the exact number offhand, but we're probably closing in on 7 million in assignment fees. And I'm not done scaling. I'm going to scale to, we're going to scale to 6 million probably, if not this year, by next year. And I would say within the next 4 years, I'll hit 10 million in 1 year in wholesale fees. So for me, it's a different level. I'm playing the game at a different level. It's not how many deals can I get. It's how many deals can my team get. It's a real organization. We're doing this at a higher level, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. How does somebody get to that level?
The first step is you have to build a lot of self-confidence in yourself. I think that you have to become a master of your craft. I think you have to really understand the business from all aspects. I think that's something that people neglect. They don't take the time to, they'll learn a little bit of acquisitions, maybe they'll do a little dispo, and then like they'll go to hire. I think that's stupid. I think you've got to be really, really good at it. You've got to know how to talk to sellers. You got to know how to talk to buyers. You've got to understand what are the issues that are going to come up that are going to prevent you from going to closing, and not only what are the issues that are going to come up that bring you to closing, how are you going to resolve those issues? What are the rebuttals you're going to get from sellers? What are the rebuttals you're going to get from buyers? And how do you diffuse all these situations? And yeah, you can listen to someone like myself or someone else talk about it or give you hypothetical theories about how to get by these problems, but ultimately you're going to have to go through it yourself. You're going to have to get to those points and solve those problems yourself, with or without the help of someone else, in order to gain that experience and also that confidence that you can go ahead and scale your business and put your money in the line. Because it's one thing to, you know, run an SMS campaign, spend a few $100s on an SMS campaign. It's another thing to lay down 100 grand PPC in 30 days. It's a different. It takes a different level of confidence in what you're doing and your team that you have, and also obviously you have to have the capital to do it. So it's the first step is master all the parts of the business, and the second step is learning how to recruit and onboard people that are talented, but also people that you can retain in the long run. So yeah, that's kind of how you do it. And in order, and obviously someone that's going to come work for you, they have to believe in you. They have to believe in you and believe in your vision and believe that by coming to work for me, that you're going to add value to them and it's going to be worth their while. So in order to them have that confidence in you, you have to be really confident in yourself, if that makes sense. And
Absolutely.
you have to exude that confidence.
You talked a lot about wanting to scale this business. I'm curious to know how far you think you could scale it. I know you're trying to hit 10 million in the next 4 years in 1 year, but what do you think is, and if there is like a cap to this business? Do you think there is a cap? Is there a point where you probably couldn't scale further?
I think that you know, I mean, I know there's companies out there that have scaled this business to, you know, 20-25 million dollars a year. So I know that it's very, very scalable. I don't necessarily think that I would want to scale it that far, just because I think you know, the further you scale it, the more stress you're going to have, the more moving parts you're going to have, and at some point it's like it's just not even, it's just a fucking transactional nightmare when you have, you know, it's even stressful having 50 deals in escrow, but imagine having 200, 300 deals in escrow. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I don't think that I would want to scale it that far. I think that ultimately my goal would be to scale my business to, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, even 10 million a year. And then, you know, also I'm doing flips. Also, I've got my rental portfolio. And then also obviously, eventually I'm going to step out in a big way on the education side of this business. And I'm going to make a lot of the people that are promoting themselves as educational leaders in this business, I'm going to make them look dumb, because I've actually done it. I mean, the majority of the people that you see on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, et cetera, that are promoting themselves as like leaders in this industry, their companies maybe do a million, maybe. I mean, and you know, they're promoting themselves as leader. I'll tell you straight up, $1 million in wholesaling is nothing. It's nothing. It's not. It's peanuts. Because you've got a lot of people in this industry, they're doing $1 million in wholesale fees. Maybe they have, let's say, they have one partner, so they're you know, it's 500,000 each. After they pay off their expenses, et cetera, et cetera, maybe they're making 250, 250,000 off the wholesaling, and then if they pay taxes, what are they making? They're making 180. It's peanuts. It's nothing. They're not real wholesalers. They haven't made any money in this business. So it's I'm gonna, you know, one of my goals is definitely to, you know, I will be the next one, Cody Sperber of wholesale real estate. You know, everyone's gonna know who I am. Everyone's gonna respect me. Like, that guy actually wholesales. You know, he's legit, and that's one of my other goals that I'm gonna get around to. I'm actually in the process of creating a course where I'm going to go in detail on how to wholesale real estate. You know, each section is going to be very detailed on acquisitions, dispositions, how to wholesale listed properties, how to handle title issues, how to sue sellers to close if they back out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Things that people in the education space in this industry have never even talked about at a high level. Yeah, so that course I'll probably have it out within the next, I say, 6 months. And I've already sold a couple copies of it, so that's exciting as well.
That's definitely exciting. I'm eager to see that. What would you tell somebody that's done a few deals and looking to scale? How would you advise them to scale their business? How would you advise them to reinvest their profits?
When you say it, like, it's just okay, so I think the smartest way to scale this business is the first step is you need to get your first real acquisitions person, because yeah, that's the first step. You need to find someone that's really good at acquisitions, besides yourself, because that's going to allow you to scale your marketing. There's only so much you can do. So you're the first person you're going to find is you got to find that acquisitions person. Now, the acquisitions person that you're looking for, the main intangible that you're looking for when you're hiring is you need someone who's great at building rapport. So, yeah, so here, so if I share my, can you see my screen or no?
We can.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Nathan, if you could highlight his screen for everybody to see.
yeah,
It's still
so
loading.
still loading. Let me know if it works or not. Personality color chart. Um, um, can you see it
It's
or
not
not?
coming through for us. I think since you're on Mac, there's another like step you have to do before you can stream. Unfortunately.
Um, okay, so let me see. Discord notifications. Okay, stop. I'm just not going to stream it. But basically, when you're looking at this person that you potentially hire for acquisitions, the first thing you need to look at is, are they good at connecting with people? Because if it, can they really, are they calm? You want my personality type, you want the exact opposite of me when it comes to acquisitions. You want someone who's super calm, super, makes people feel good about themselves, makes people trust them quickly, and is a good, they need to be a good bullshitter, but that calmness, that patience, and that connecting, that ability to connect with people quickly, that's the secret sauce. And if they have that personality type where they can just make people feel really, really comfortable really, really fast, they're gonna, and obviously they're driven, then they have the potential to be a great acquisitions person. And so you want to get someone with that personality type who's just very good at connecting with people and making people feel comfortable. And you want to get those people, them on the phone. And then you want to, obviously get them in the repetitions, get them making a lot of calls, and just basically make sure that they really become a master of talking to people, making sellers feel comfortable, etc. And then once you have that acquisitions person that starts to get deals under their belt, boom, 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 closing deals, then you can, once you have that confidence in your team that you're going to close, that's when you can start ramping your marketing. And once you can start ramping your marketing, you're gonna be able to scale your revenue much, much faster. So yeah, that's the first step, is finding an acquisitions person that's really good, and then really getting to buy into your company and what you got, your vision. Obviously, make sure that it's good for them too. They're going to be able to make a good income working with you. And then once you get that person going, then you can, it's much easier to onboard another person, because it's like, okay, this guy works with this company for a year, he's had a lot of success, he's made a lot of money here. Then you're able to onboard the second person, third person, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because you have that first person, that person that's like your trophy. It's like they like, they show that you can succeed, and that you can actually have people work at your company and succeed. So I think that's the first, that's the second step. And then once you get that person or those people that you really can count on every day to handle your leads and get your leads sold, etc., that allows you to scale your marketing and your back end a lot. But that's the first step.
100%. And what do you offer somebody to accept that role as the acquisitions?
I mean, I typically, like, obviously there's inflation and stuff like that because of Joe Biden, but basically, what you're looking at is you're going to offer them a base salary. I mean, the base salary could be 2,000, could be 3,000 a month, could be even more than that. But it depends on what you're looking for. But what I look for is I'll offer them up to like 40 or 45,000 base salary, and then I will then with a very low commission, like basically they'll get $0 in commission on the first, X amount of sales each calendar month. And then the goal is, okay, so you have the salary, but they're not going to get commission. But then if they're closing deals, they're going to start to realize, like, okay, I want to be on commission. So then you're going to lower the salary and raise the commission rate. And then once you have them, around 2K a month base salary plus commission, now, you still have them on a salary, so you can hold them accountable to show up every day, but they're making the commission, so they're motivated to keep hustling, and you're not having to micromanage them and be too overbearing on them because they're getting commission, so they should be hustling every day, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I think we're definitely learning a lot about how to scale a business. I'm just really trying to wrap my head around where to take it next, because I mean, you're doing multi-million-dollar like gross revenue.
Correct.
And it's like you don't get there overnight, and you certainly probably don't even get there in your first 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, so obviously
Could
you
easily
have
get there in 2-3 years if you're very focused. I mean, you got to
2,
be
3
really,
years.
really focused. Yeah, you got to be really focused. You got to be really, you got to hold yourself accountable, because if you're your own boss, you don't have a boss. So you got, no one's going to sit there and tell you to get to bed at a certain time, but you got to tell yourself to get to bed at a certain time. You got to set that alarm to get out of bed early. You got to have your regimen, you know, your routine that kind of gets you in that groove. If you're when I was younger, I used to go out partying every weekend, to stay out really late. And what I realized after a while is that kind of got me. It just screwed with it screwed with me. I was always tired, always hungover. And at some point when I got serious about my business, I was just, you have to be on your own kind of grind, and you have to be to push yourself, because you're looking at as an entrepreneur, you're looking at the future, and you're looking at, okay, this is what I want to be. What do I have to do to get there? What am I willing to sacrifice today to get there tomorrow? And that's important. You got to be very, very focused on where you want to go and willing to sacrifice what you're doing today in order to get where you're willing to go in down the line in 6 months or a year or whatever. When I was, younger, I was 24, 25, my goal was always, okay, I want to live on South Beach in the penthouse with the Lamborghini and all that. And, that was always my vision. And that's where I am today. I live on South Beach, in one of the nicest condos there. My apartment, I pay like, almost $9,000 a month in rent. I have a $300,000 Lamborghini that actually collects dust because I drive my BMW more, but I do have a Lamborghini. And it's like that was all I envisioned that years ago, and until it became a reality. And then boom, I put the next vision. You gotta stay focused on where you want to go and keep pushing, because a lot of people, what happens is that they make a little bit of money, they make 10,000, they make 20,000, and they lose focus on the bigger picture. And I think that's important if you want to get to the next level, looking at where you want to go and what you're willing to do to get there. So yeah, that's key. That's key. So yeah, why don't we do Q&A? Why don't we bring in some people from the audience and have them ask some questions so we can kind of answer some of their questions and continue the conversation that way?
Awesome. Yeah, let's do that. Before we open it up for Q&A, I do want to ask you what it is you do on a regular basis, on a daily basis. Like, what does your routine look like to be at that level where you're making $1 million plus a year?
I'm very regimented about going to bed. I mean, I usually go to bed no later than like 10:30 or 11, even on weekends. Not because like just because I'm tired. At that point, I'm really tired. I'm mentally exhausted, from everything I got going on. See, I go to bed about 10:30. I'm usually out of bed by somewhere between like 5:30 and 6:30, usually kind of in that range. So I do, I'm sleeping a good amount, but I'm still getting out of bed early. And then, I'm right off to the gym. One thing is a huge key. I stopped drinking coffee. I would say that's big. I wouldn't drink coffee if you're serious about building a business. I stopped drinking coffee. I drink Magic Mind first thing in the morning. I drink um, a smoothie every morning. It's like a detox smoothie. I put celery juice, spinach, lemon, and also apple in there and ginger, and I have that first thing in the morning, followed by my little matcha shot, which is pretty much the only caffeine I have the whole day besides maybe some tea. And then I have a pre-workout, but my pre-workout has no stimulants in it. So then I go, like, it's just a stim-free pre-workout, and then boom, I go right to the gym. I walk to the gym, so the gym's about a mile walk. Usually on that walk, I do a lot of thinking about what I got to get done that day. Sometimes I'll make some phone calls to talk to my father or a close friend to kind of also talk about what I'm thinking about and things like that. Kind of clears my head. And then, yeah, I'll have a very focused workout. I don't keep my phone on me when I work out, so I'm focused on what I'm doing. And then after my workout, walk home, get ready for work, eat breakfast, and then go to work. Usually get to work around 10:30. My team starts working at 10. And then I use Trello a lot. If you use Trello, it's a huge recommendation. Trello is like a to-do list app. So I put all my I have like different sections. I got like the urgent section, and then I have like the kind of less urgent section, and like the really not urgent section. So I always am looking at my urgent section. I have my little tasks on there about what I gotta get done. I'm working with my assistant and my team to get those tasks done. Whether it's dealing with a specific deal, or whether it's dealing with a title issue, or whether it's I have to work on improving my CRM, or whatever it is. All sorts of things that could come up in my business. And then as I'm getting those things done, I'm moving them across to the complete section of my task list. While I'm doing that, I'm constantly underwriting deals with my team. Only one, my team screens underwrites the deals themselves, but when it's kind of like on the fence, like, is this the deal, is this not a deal? I'll look at it. We'll decide whether we want to do try for a wholesale deal or a novation, or we're starting to do sub 2 as well. So we'll consider if a sub 2 makes sense. And then I'll get with my dispo team. My dispo team has all the deals on the wall, so I'm able to go in there and then look. Okay, boom, what's going on with that deal? What's going on with that deal? Okay, great. And then, okay, do we need to lower the price? I'll lower the price on the deal real quick if it needs to lower. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. So then that's what I do when I'm at work. Yeah, and then when I'm not at work, I'm usually just kind of thinking a lot about what can I do in my next step to improve my business. Which part of my business can I improve? Hey, Diana, can I get some water, please? Yeah, just yeah, thanks. So yeah, I'll just think about what's the next step that I can do to improve my business. What's my next hire? What's my next fire? Do I need to adjust the commission structure on someone, et cetera, et cetera? And I'm always thinking about those kind of things when I'm not at work. And then when I get to work, I'm going ahead and implementing them. Maybe I'll talk it over with my senior acquisition agents, see what they think about my idea. And then if it's something that we think we want to make a move on, we'll go ahead and do that. So yeah, that's also I have a business partner that we flipped a lot of houses together, but he handles all the renovations. I usually handle the acquisitions and the disposition of the properties. So I'll always be talking to him and getting his input as well. He knows a lot about like rehab costs and whether the deals make sense. He's flipped up my business partner has flipped over 1,000 properties in his career, like actually like bought and sold, not like wholesaled. So he's able to give me a lot of input on properties and what he thinks, what his opinion is, things like that. Yeah, that's pretty much what my day-to-day looks like.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and open it up. We've never done it this way, brother. So this is like foreign, but we're
Sure.
figuring it out. So if in the chat, if you have a question and you want to be unmuted, just drop something, and I will unmute you, and we can.
How many people do we have on the YouTube?
On YouTube, we are at 28.
And how many do we have in here?
We have 25. We've maxed out the room.
Okay, cool.
It's a little over 50 in total.
All right, as long as I know that like someone's listening, because it's a little different. Is there no chat in this thing, like where they can drop notes or?
Yeah, we have a chat channel. It's above.
Oh, I didn't even on the okay.
Yeah, it's super simple, brother. Like everything is really self-explanatory, and we try to keep it super simple, so it should be easy to navigate once you get familiar with it.
No, I got it. Okay, so what? All right, well, I guess we're just waiting on the questions. Was I too brief in my answers, or you think I was detailed enough?
Nah, those were solid, man. Those were solid. It's just that
Okay.
we never hosted a podcast like this, brother. So it's like we're a fish out of water right now. This is a whole new thing. We never done this way.
You don't think that the camera makes a difference? Like, you don't think it makes more
No,
of
the camera's dope. But we just usually we pull people up from the audience to interact with you, and that's a feature. That's kind of the trade-off.
Do you want to switch into the other room to do that for the Q&A, or do you not want to do that? Okay, this guy said Malachi said what methods work to generate leads. Yeah, we do a lot of PPC and cold calling. PPC is our favorite though. PPC is our favorite. When you first started, what was your go-to system such as softwares and stuff? So when I first started, when I was doing MLS wholesaling, we used a Reifax, which is a software that allows you to pull properties from the MLS. That was the first software we used. And then when we went into the off market, obviously we did a lot of CallRail, ZenCall, PropStream, that kind of thing. But yeah, offhand, those were the main ones in the beginning. At what point should we hire a lawyer after 6 figures or touching $1 million? What do you mean a lawyer? I don't really. It's a lawyer, and to do what exactly? Usually, when you hire a lawyer, there's a specific purpose as to what they're going to do. So it's a little vague of the question. I think you should hire a lawyer as soon as you have a deal that you're going to lose that you're making significant money on. I think that's when you should hire a lawyer. But it's a very vague question, what he said. Hey, John, do you want to read them off, or should I read them off?
Yeah, bro, I can read them off.
Okay, I mean, sure. These can people talk, or they can only like drop the question? I joined. How much capital did you start off with? I started wholesaling in June, got my first contract, but fell through. Now I'm in school, so I just fell off. So yeah, I was fortunate that I did start, full disclosure, I did start off with capital. I had a few $100,000, so it's not like I had nothing to start off with. But I did scale very aggressively because of that. I have a question, but in the beginning when I had my business, I didn't risk. I was using MLS, so I didn't spend any money on marketing. So to be honest, it didn't matter that much for me in the beginning. I have a question. In your beginning, when you were independent, hey John, just go ahead and read the question. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself.
All right, Aaron, you should be able to unmute yourself. Aaron Barry, you should be able to unmute yourself and ask your question. You there?
Can you hear me?
What's up, Aaron?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time out, Ben, and it's been a pleasure. I've learned a lot from you. I have a question about your novations.
Mhm.
I heard that you say that's how you started out, and I was wondering, how do
No,
you
I didn't.
deliver that? Did you say you started out just wholesaling and novations, and then you started doing other
No, we
creative
started
strategies?
out wholesaling listed properties. So we'd call agents and list and
Hmm.
wholesale the ones that are listed. That's what I said, not novations. But we do novations, so you can ask the question anyways.
Okay, I was just wondering how do you deliver that to potential sellers?
The pitch, the novation pitch.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's basically like, hey, so Mr. Seller, I know that you're looking for 100,000 cash for the house. Unfortunately, our offer could only be 60 or whatever, blah blah blah. You pitch your cash offer, and then it's like, look, like, we can't get to the 100, but what we can do is, we can give you 80,000. And we have a very, very good network of investors and buyers and agents. And we can even utilize the MLS, the multiple listing service, to get your property sold. Um, the buyer might be cash. They might also be a financing buyer. And we're going to cover any sort of closing costs or realtor commissions that are covered with the transaction, and make sure that you get your 80,000. And if the property needs any repairs in order to qualify for financing, we're going to handle those repairs and come out of pocket on to make sure that the repairs are done to qualify for the financing. But we're going to get you your 80, and we're going to close in. We can't close in 45 days. We're going to have to close in 75 days. I'm just giving you an example. And obviously we're going to need access to the house to show it to our buyers, and make sure that they are comfortable buying the property, etc. So yeah, that's basically how you pitch it. So you're basically saying, instead of, you going with an agent and having to pay closing costs and realtor commissions, we're going to get you your number. We're going to take care of the closing costs and realtor commissions, and we're going to take care of any sort of repairs that are necessary to get the property qualified for financing. And then, yeah, that's the whole pitch. That's pretty much it. Would that make sense?
Thanks for everything. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Do you,
Can't
when
hear
you
you very
post
well.
novations, do you have
Can't hear you
do
very
you
well,
hear
brother.
now?
John, can you hear him? I can't hear shit.
Nah, his connection is bugging, unfortunately.
Okay.
No
We'll come
worries.
back to him. We'll come back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll come back. Who else has a question that would like to come up? Let us know in the text, and we'll unmute you. Anybody that can, feel free to unmute themselves and ask, any question that you might
Okay,
have.
so in your beginning, when you were independent, how did you go about building your network of realtors and contractors in your local market? You got to go to networking events. But I mean, you got to go to networking events, and you got to go to masterminds to build your network. To be honest, I don't have a big network of realtors and contractors in my local market. We do deals in 25 states. I just have a couple key people that I kind of work with, and then my people meet, kind of gravitate towards me on social media, so I kind of meet them like that. And it takes time, but it's not. I never made a big effort. I was always focused on bringing in deals and then just finding the buyers, and it just happens. How did you learn structuring, underwriting, creative deals in the beginning? I never done a sub two, so to be honest, I'm not a good person to answer that question. When you first start, how many VAs do you suggest hiring? Minimum three VAs. I would say 3 cold callers. If you have 1 acquisitions, I would get minimum 3 cold callers, minimum. What's the app that you use to stay organized? Trello, Trello. How would one set up the regimen of time blocking? I don't do time blocking, but I think it's a very effective method. I've never done it, but I think you should do it. I just haven't done it yet myself. What kind of lead are Llama Sioux? Lamasu's very good. We've made a lot of money with their leads so far. They're very qualified. You close about 1 in 15 leads is going to be a deal usually with them, but you have to be very good at like following up with them. What do you look for when hiring so you're not wasting leads and good money? You're looking for someone who ideally has experience, someone who's very reliable. You want someone who's a little bit older. You don't want someone who's in their early 20s. They're typically going to be not as focused. You want someone who's probably in their late 20s, early 30s, maybe older, but that's kind of a good range, kind of like between the ages of like 26 and like 40. That's kind of a good range of someone you're looking to hire. If they're more grounded, someone that's married or has a long-term girlfriend, someone with kids, that's typically going to be a better employee. They're going to be more grounded. They're going to be more reliable on a day-to-day because they're also they have people depending on them to make money. And you're looking for someone who you know, is it very good when it comes to sales acquisitions? You're definitely looking for someone who's really good at connecting with people. That's the key. Connecting is the main thing you're looking for. Look at YouTube questions. I got a question. Let me know when to unmute. Yeah, just go whenever. Hey,
How you doing today, man?
what's going on, brother? Who am I talking to?
Man, my name's Cole, man. Real name Cole, though.
Oh, cool, man. So, what was your question? I can't see it on there. What was your question?
My question is, okay, just to piggyback off the Novation thing. So I got this deal under contract that, I mean, it could work for an assignment, but I'm thinking more that I should pitch an Novation idea, and I'm totally sure she'll be open for it because I got it under contract until April anyways. So with that being said, how would I go about doing the repair? Because I know you said you tell her
You don't actually look to do the repairs. You're just telling them that to get it under contract. Like you could do the repairs, but it's risky because if you do the repairs, something happens and then the seller backs out, you just lost money. So but that's just part of the pitch. You're not really looking to do the repairs. You prefer to just sell it as is, if that makes sense. If you get a conventional buyer, you can usually credit them for the repairs, so you don't need to come out of pocket.
What do you mean by that? I'm not familiar with that. What does that mean? Kind of elaborate for me.
So, for example, let's say you get the property for 200, and then you have a buyer for 230, right? And then the buyer comes back and they say, okay, well, the house needs new electrical, right? Or let's say it needs new. The buyer requests that they want. They have certain requests that they want done prior to closing, right? So you say, all right, well, instead of us doing the repairs, are you okay with us giving you a credit? So you're giving the money from your assignment fee or your innovation fee, and as opposed to actually doing the repairs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I've been in a situation where the seller was also offering me a credit for the roof, like 10K.
Exactly. So it's the same thing. So you're just giving them a credit. But the problem is if the financing doesn't allow you to do a credit, then you may have to go ahead and do the repairs. But if you list it on the MLS and you find a cash buyer, you're not going to have any issues because you won't have to do the repairs.
All right.
But if you list it, you sell to a finance buyer, you're either going to have to do the repairs or you're going to have. What we like to do now is we actually say to the seller, look, we're going to pay for the repairs at closing, but we need you to pay for the repairs up front, and we'll credit back to the seller. So the seller's going to go ahead and do the repairs, pay for the repairs, but you're going to credit them back the money they used for the repairs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it was kind of like tightens your end up so you don't lose any money. Right. That makes sense for sure.
Exactly. So that's how we have one right now in Texas, and we're pitching it just like that. It needs like $3,000 or something. So the seller's going to come out of pocket $3,000, and then we're going to credit the seller back from our fee at closing $3,000.
Okay. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yep. No problem.
We've got a couple questions on YouTube. Andy asks, any strategies you found works well when wholesaling MLS listings?
I mean, it's a pretty vague question, like strategies. I mean, it's just a super fucking vague question. Are you talking about on the dispo side or the acquisition side? It's on the acquisition side, you know, you really have to you've got to know your numbers. You've got to make sure that you really understand like what the buyers are going to pay in that for that house. And that way, when you're negotiating on the house, you're trying to slip in about a 10K fee. It's not like an off market where you're trying to rip them for 30. It's like you're trying to slip in 10K because it's going to be hard to rip them for 30 on the MLS because people are bidding on the property. We always offer the realtor both sides of the commission. As opposed to taking a real estate commission ourselves. So the realtors are always going to favor our offer because they're going to get 6% as opposed to 3%. That's a big tip. And you always want to, you want to send some sort of proof of funds. Hopefully, if you don't have a proof of funds, you can ask someone that you know that maybe has a proof of funds to borrow them and just say that they're your funding partner or business partner or something like that. And then, yeah, when you go to dispo the deal, you're going to want to get your buyers in there, tell the realtor that those are your partners, contractors, make sure the buyers don't say anything dumb at the house, and then, hopefully sell the deal. If the buyer comes in lower than you do, but you're confident in the buyer, then you can go back and renegotiate with the realtor, ask them, hey, we need the property for 10K less, but we can go hard on the EMD if we go 10K less. And then you kind of, boom, you just lock them in 10K, and then, you already have your buyer, whatever, 5 or 10K higher than your price that you're renegotiating to. So yeah, what's the next question, John?
Follow-up question. He says,
Sure.
especially dealing with agents and overcoming the objection, how do you overcome the objections that they get a lot of calls like this?
So most wholesalers that wholesale in the MLS, they don't actually call the agents. They usually just send the offer, and that's the biggest mistake. You've got to actually call the agent and then pitch them, ask them questions about the house, ask them questions about what the condition is, take some time to learn about the house and then build a rapport with the agent. That way, when you submit your offer, they take it a lot more seriously than if you just fucking send it to their email. It's like, who the fuck is this guy? So, if you take the time to talk to the agent for 20 minutes on the phone or 15 minutes on the phone, they're 10 times more likely to accept your offer than if you just, send it out there out of the blue. What's the next question, John? These questions are overwhelming. There's like so many. I don't know where to look at first.
Miguel asks, right now it's just my partner and I. We do everything, including fix and flips. So our time is limited. It's been hard to scale. What do you suggest we do? How many hires do you suggest we make?
Well, if you've already made money and you have some money saved up, you should get an office. I believe in getting an office. I would get an office, small office, maybe 700 square feet or 600 square feet for your first office. And then your first hire should be, usually the first hire is going to be acquisitions, or it could be admin VA. So it depends on kind of what you guys like doing more. But usually you're going to want to hire an admin. My first hire was an admin VA to kind of handle emails and tasks like that, and that helped a lot. And then you're looking to hire acquisitions, and then once you hire that acquisitions, now you can scale your marketing. And then once you scale your marketing, you can hire more acquisitions, or you can start to hire dispo. Once you have a significant amount of volume of deals, like if you have, I would say, 15 plus deals in escrow at a time, you're going to want to look to hire transaction coordination. What's the next one?
Question from
I gotta go in 2 minutes. I gotta go to 2 minutes. I gotta go in 2 minutes. Just letting you know that. So we can do this another time. I don't have a problem jumping on here another day, but I gotta go in 2 minutes.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question. We usually end every podcast with this question. It's the most important question that we've asked any speaker. What is your why?
I don't like that question, but I mean, it's just very vague. But I mean, what is my why? I mean, everyone always has some like really romantic answer to this "what is my why" question. I think it's all bullshit, to be honest. My why is my why, I mean, one of the biggest reasons my why is that when I'm old and I'm like, 80 years old or whatever, and I'll probably have kids and maybe even grandkids by then, and I'm getting ready to, let's say I'm getting ready to die or whatever. When I look back on my life, I don't want to have pretty much any regrets. And I want to be able to look back and say that, I really went for it. I really believed in myself, and I really went for my dreams, and, I gave it my all, and I left it all out there on the table, to go after the things that I wanted it, in this life. And that, because if I didn't give it my all, I didn't go for it like I really wanted to, I wouldn't feel good about myself at the end. So I think that's a big why for me. And obviously, passing on a legacy to my family. I think that's a big why. But also just,
Talk to me about what you said there. You want to feel good about yourself. Tell me more about that. What does that mean for you?
well, I just don't, I think that, a lot of people, they just don't go after their dreams because they don't believe in themselves enough. And I'm very confident in myself on what I can do, and how far I can go. And it's like I just don't want to feel that I played it safe. That it's like, oh, that was the easier route, and I could have gone and done that, and whatever. I don't want to feel that way at the end. So I think that, for me, I have big dreams and big goals. I want to make a lot of money. Many, 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 many millions. I want to travel the world on my own terms. I want to sleep with women on my own terms whenever I want, whoever I want, and just be super unapologetic about it. So, yeah, that's I would say is
Why?
it's just,
Why?
it's 'cause why not? It's just because why not? Why it's like why it's like, for me it's like why not? I don't really see like a reason why not. It's like, because I don't know if there's gonna be an afterlife. I don't know if I'm gonna have a second chance at this. So I might as well fucking go for it, balls to the wall the first time, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't. I don't have a romantic answer to that. I'm just very fucking motivated.
That's an awesome answer. That's the realest shit I've heard. For real. I respect
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
I respect that.
yeah, I mean, people could tell some bullshit about something. I don't have any bullshit to say.
All right, man. Well, Ben,
Yeah.
we greatly appreciate you.
All right, John. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for inviting me on your podcast. We'll chop it back another time, hopefully. I do, I do like this. I think it's very good, but it's just a little strange because
It's gonna get better, bro. Once
I
we
don't
get
get any of that.
partnered.
I'm not getting any of that like feedback. I'm not getting any of the facial reactions back. Like I don't have it. It just feels like I'm talking to myself a lot here. So I just, like when we do it on Zoom, it's a lot better. I hear everyone laughing. I really can feel the energy of what's going on and what people's reactions are. Here, I almost feel like I'm talking to myself. It's just it's not the same. But I get it. You have a large following here. Everyone's on this system, and it makes sense to do it here. But there's got to be a way to like do Zoom while we do it on here, and that would make it a lot more interactive. I feel like for everyone. But yeah. But I appreciate you bringing me on, John. I hope that I provided some value to your community, and I hope that we can chop it back another time in the future when I have a little bit more time. And also, if you can give me a little bit more heads up, and I can drop the thing on my social media sooner, I'll get a lot more people coming on like that as well. Okay.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Ben.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.